Howdy, folks. Charlie here from Christmas on Crestline. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for tuning in to a very special episode. Today we have with us, John from Ulta-Lit. He is the man behind the Light Keeper Pro, behind the LED Keeper. How you doing today, sir?
Good. How are you, Charlie?
Doing extraordinary now that you're here to chat. So we've been talking for a moment, and for those that don't know, for those that are ignorant, can you tell folks who you are, who the company is, and what you do?
Certainly. My name is John DeCosmo. This is a company that I started now over 25 years ago. At the time, we were one of only two pre-lit tree companies in the United States. Ironically, the other one was in Chicago, but we did incandescent pre-lit trees at a time when people were too afraid to get into this. So light set failure scared off other major companies, but that's the way we started. Fast forward in 1999, I ran into a problem. All of my light sets that year were burning out prematurely. You're supposed to get 2,000 hours of life out of an incandescent set. We got 200 that year. Could have put us out of business until the next year we began. I had hired an engineer that year, not knowing I was going to have this problem. But we started to obsess with light set failure, a category that was always poo-pooed at that time.
What you offer? The two products that I have here, the Light Keeper Pro and the LED Keeper. What other products do you offer?
Well, we've been working hard in two categories. We're working on plastics. We're working on some innovations in plastics. For example, you can't take, to this day, you can't take a Christmas light set and write with it. Okay, if you wanted to do that, that's hard. Well, we've got a sleeve now to help this, and we've got a great patent application in on it. But it'll take the light set and, for example, just take and point the light bulbs and maybe the way you want to go, and make it easier to write for you. And those are things. Plastics are going slow for us, but we're getting some progress in some areas there. The other exciting thing in plastics is people go to maybe palm trees and they wrap the palm trees all the way up, and that's a lot of work. And if you're doing it for a municipality, that's a lot of money. Okay, well, we've got a strap. Pardon me 1 second. Pass me some of those, please. We've got a strap that you hang around the top and the bottom. Thank you. That you take these straps, and this is a great product that we're developing. But you take the straps and put them together, and you put them around the tree. And what that accomplishes in the course of doing this is you put one at the top, one at the bottom, and now instead of wrapping in a horizontal fashion, go in vertical. Okay.
Very nice.
You're going to get the same look, oddly enough, because at nighttime, lights always go where they want to go. You're going to get the same look. The charm of it is at the end of the year, when you need to take them down, you just do a release. And these lights will fall to the ground. And back to a municipality, if you've got a cherry picker and you're paying a man effectively $30 an hour or more, you want those light sets down. I've never met anybody who says I enjoy taking lights down at the end of the year. We might enjoy putting them up, but yeah. So okay, so that's that. And Scent Keeper, we're working hard on a really good program to complement the artificial tree user, and we found out even real tree people are enjoying this. So what do? It's a fragrance complement program that you're going to see this fall introduced in some really good stores. seasonal concepts in Overland Park, Kansas, and other places like that, where we've got a good, affordable complement program that we're proud of, while others are doing it. What's coming up for us this Christmas, I think in seasonal fragrance, it's unparalleled. That's it. We love Christmas. We love who else puts their phone number on every product that they make?
Right. Now, not for nothing, and I brag about your stuff because we talked earlier. Those folks like me who have 80,000 lights, who have 100,000 lights, who have a million lights. If you folks don't have these, you're out of your freaking minds. But one of the things I brag most about, and when we talked to Jim at Trans World Convention, I was bragging about your owner's manual. This right thing here is one of the best owner's manuals I've ever seen. I just got a new Traeger smoker, put it together. It took me hours longer than it should have. This is one of the best, well-written manuals I've ever seen. Did you write it, or who wrote it for you?
It's always a collaboration. It's always being refined. And I'm going to tell you something funny about that. The bottom third is in Spanish, as it should be, okay? Mm-hmm. So, but this we hear every year. One group of people says your instructions are too long. Some people say they're too short, okay? Mm-hmm. No, but the point is that we support it with a toll-free line. You know what I mean? And last year we made a great phone attendant, 24/7 phone attendant that just helps with it. Those instructions, we don't get ratings of 4.0 and above on the internet for by accident. Those instructions are quite helpful.
Yeah, you get rave reviews on Amazon and other places, and like we spoke about before, Amazon is kind of the true watershed moment for folks. If your product sucks, they're going to let you know. If it's awesome, they're going to let you know.
Yeah, and Amazon is unique. They will pull you. We've just seen it in the trade. If your product's not bona fide, they see poor ratings. Mm-hmm. They pull you. So it's a very honest marketplace. We are working with electricity. Electricity is invisible. Okay. So the idea that you're going to take any one of our tools and go out and fix a light set in only 5 minutes or so, I think what you've done, Charlie, for us and others have done that I'm most appreciative of is take a little time and learn it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If it takes you 30 minutes to learn it, and then you're fixing light sets for 5 years, I think that's a good investment of your time.
Yes. I would agree with that. I don't go up on my roof. I don't go up on a tree without that on my tool belt. I'm an all LED show. I do have some incandescents. We actually turn our incandescent lighting when it goes bad because we don't use it anymore in the show. We actually turn those into our own extension cords. So we do have some uses for incandescent lighting. We're mostly LED, but I don't go up on a roof or on a ladder with that thing in my toolbox or without my tool belt. It's just so well made. Plus, it's another thing I appreciate. It's yellow. It's not black. Everything nowadays is black. So if you open up your tool drawer, you dang near need a flashlight sometimes to pick a tool out. So I appreciate the color.
Somebody called it the electric banana.
Electric banana. There you go.
LED changed the world.
Yeah.
Old days, a lot of homes look like each other. You had a plastic Santa Claus.
Yeah.
You might have had incandescent C9s on the roof line, on the gutters, and then mini lights in the shrubs. That might have been it. But now, I'll conclude with this. It's fun to hear people in January talk about, and this is what I'm going to do next year. At my company here in January, we slow down. Christmas has been intense, but when you're sitting there with this is what I'm going to do better next year. You're our kind of people.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, those have been some of the best surprises.
Now, when we're talking to Jim in the St. Louis and the Trans World Convention, I was asking him, you guys just passed, is that 100,000 people, if memory serves, that you have helped on your helpline?
The helpline was 100,000 phone calls, yes, which To a lot of people, okay, it's 100,000. When you're averaging some 15 minutes per call, you know, and I
Right.
won't put dummies on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't just put a warm body on the phone. They go through a pretty tough university before they get on the phone, which usually starts in the summer with their education. Yeah, over 100,000 phone calls, emails as well. That's yes, that's a big deal.
And for me, maybe I'm a simpleton at the math, but you have over 6 million units sold. And to me, if you have that many millions and you're only getting a few, well, in this case, 100,000, 100,000 is a lot. But when you think about 6 million people, you don't get a whole lot of breakage or a whole lot of just don't work right out of the box. I mean, to me, that means you have a quality product. If you sent me, if you tell me you have 6 million units sold and you've done 4 million repair calls, I don't know.
Okay, here's a secret. Here's a secret that we've yet to put in writing. Who else puts lifetime warranties on their products?
Well said.
Yeah, the only thing we won't warranty is the batteries. Whoever, you know, it doesn't work that way. But if you call, and of course we've made some over time, you know, that
Mm-hmm.
need replacing. Let's be real. But if you call and it's bona fide, you send it back to us. If we agree with you, we
Mm-hmm.
send a new unit plus a $5 bill for your inconvenience. You know,
There you go. And I
you
don't
know,
know of any other companies that do that.
no, it doesn't. It surprises people, but yes, that is us.
Is there any customer service stories that stick out with you over the years? Anybody that you've taken a phone call that's kind of stuck with you over the years? It was kind of neat that you could share.
I would love that. I would love that, and that's where these reminders are good for me. When we were first getting started, this is before tools.
Mm-hmm.
On a Saturday, a lady called with 3 questions and got what she deserved. She got the best intelligence we had to offer about fixing the light set. And so that was a good one. And then on a Monday, unbeknownst to me, her husband called and he had some good questions and some compliments. I recall his name as Jim Goldman, but here we are just getting just getting started. We're a small company. And he said, well, I want you to know I'm a writer for CNBC. He said, my wife called on a Saturday and was very impressed with what you guys had to tell her. And he said, I'm going to write about you guys and who knows, maybe get you on TV. Well, to this small Chicago company at that moment in time, that was a big deal. And that happened. That story still resides online. And that was in the early days. Also in the early days, we had to do it. Several of us, now this is before tools, several of us, I actually did the most of them, would go to people's home and just fix the tree for them. We didn't want the tree returned. I knew if they returned it to the store, they were going to return it to me. It was a $300 tree, but I was able to see the world through their eyes.
So you're telling me you would send people somebody would call up and say, "Hey, my tree's broken." You would go out to their homes and fix it.
Yes, and
Wow.
if we made 5 home visits, I know I did 4 of them, whereby went in the home because somebody had to make sense of this. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? They were not being unreasonable. They just paid $200. They paid $300 for a tree. One light set failed, and maybe it was only one bulb that fell out. Now, my wife was puzzled by this. She said, I'm finding this peculiar. I said, trust me, we're trying to learn. We're trying to learn this. So those are 2 of the early stories. As we got going, I'll never forget one of my technicians hung up the phone and he reported the story to all of us where a woman told us how important this Christmas was, where she said, now this is the first Christmas of my second marriage.
Okay.
and but she was very serious. You know, I need help here. I need help here. And my guy must have given her 20 or 30 minutes of time. But again, it told us this is what's, you know, important. And you always want to help. You know, where else are they going to call? You know, we don't care where you got your license from. You know what I
Right.
mean? We don't have a horse in that race. You got it at store A or store B, and you bought brand X or brands. That's not important. Let's fix your light set. And so those are stories that stick with us. Uh, I love I love watching the look of the eyes of my technicians, particularly in their first years, where they're like, these people enjoy speaking to us. You
Right.
know, yeah, that's a good feeling.
And for those of you who haven't watched how amazing this tool is, I'll leave a link in the description to my aha moment, the first time I used this on camera. And I think it took 3 pulls to fix it. And I was just like, what wizardry is this? This is some sort of magic. It was awesome.
It's nothing more. If you were sticking your finger in there, which we don't advocate, but
Right.
it's a piezoelectric shock, if you will. But we're sending pulses of electricity into the light set. But Charlie, it's the same feeling. If I touched your shoulder, traditionally in the wintertime, and you felt a static electricity shock,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
that's the shock that fixes that one bulb.
That's just brilliance in the product, in my opinion.
The inventor, necessity is the mother of invention.
Mm-hmm.
And the inventor, the man that I asked to solve this, he's retired in Virginia now, but he had an idea for a new Christmas tree stand and everything else. And I finally said to him, that after us knowing each other for months, I said, nothing concerns me more than some kind of solution for Christmas light set failure. After that, within 15 minutes, he fixed it.
Good for him. I've seen him talk before in some older videos on YouTube, and he's quite the articulate fella who knows what he's talking about. So I'm impressed by the guy.
Yeah, very religious man. His name is Rich Frederick, and it could not have happened to a nicer guy. 30 million real trees are still cut every year.
Mm-hmm.
The pre-lit tree, something occurred during the pandemic. 2 of the hottest products in the country were Christmas lights. You couldn't find a light set on December 15th anywhere. Mm-hmm. Christmas lights and real Christmas trees.
Yeah.
Those were 2 of the hottest.
My sisters, I have a lot of sisters. 2 of my sisters, Megan and Tiffany, went out and bought the pre-lit trees this year, and they love them. I've always done the real tree in our house, but they love their pre-lit trees.
One of the advantages amongst many is when you get it home, you have an evenly lit tree right out of the box.
Mm-hmm.
Now there is a new trend, not just in pre-lit trees, but it pertains. These micro LEDs are popular.
Yes.
And when they're doing it in trees, we've seen 8-foot trees with 5,000 of these lights. When you take that tree, now that's expensive. Now we're into a $500 tree. But you take that tree out of the box, it's almost like a partially pre-decorated, if not a pre-decorated tree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that trend is strong.
Where can folks go to buy any of your products? Where's the best place we could recommend that they go to buy them?
Good. Okay, so if you just concentrate on where good light sets are sold, you'll usually see our tools there. So in your town, that might be a swimming pool store, that might be a garden center, that might be a mass market merchant. But every year we're in over 10,000 stores in North America, in the United States and Canada. And in addition to that, we're online. So I'm proud to say it's kind of hard. If you're looking for our tools, it's kind of hard not to find it. I learned a long time ago, don't play favorites. We love them all, but we're everywhere. So Home Depot, Menards, Target, Walmart, Canadian Tire, and Ace Hardware, and everywhere else, and everywhere else.
I've actually had some viewers reach out to me from Canada who said that they had a hard time finding it when they finally found it. They bought it, and I forget what they paid for it up there. But I've said many times that this is one of the rare products that I don't care if you see it for $60, see it for $10, you buy it. And I think I picked mine up for 20 or 25. But it's one of the rare products. If you see it, you need it. Whether you know it or not, you do buy it. You'll thank yourself later. Trust me. My own 2 cents anyway. Yeah. I think I actually said, you said you could put $100 price tag on it and it's worth it. So you don't. So don't raise your prices. I appreciate that. But yeah, it's 100% worth it. So a lot went into it. You can tell it is a quality product. And I'd have to go back and look, but I think your product is the only one I've ever recommended. I can't think of another. I'm a big fan of some other retailers or some commercial grade, like Creative Displays up in Kansas City area. But I think yours is the only product I've ever recommended, just because I appreciate quality.
But that's a hell of a testament. That's highly appreciated. You're a sincere fellow. So that's it's don't ever let us fail you. Who else puts their personal email address inside every tool where I tell people, don't if you're dissatisfied, don't stay quiet. Tell us about it. We're not saying we're going to fix everything. Incandescent at the 2,000 hour mark. If you start to see black in the bulbs, that light sets at the end of its life. Okay. Yeah. Now, in some places they'll replace all the lamps. That's not very American, you know what I mean? But the wiring is still good. But after that, we can fix them all. If your LED light set has a lot of bulbs burning out, that's not our fault. You know what I mean? That's just something whereby I don't know that manufacturer paid close attention to all details. You know what I mean? But after that, let's keep Christmas happy as it should.
And kind of wrap up here, John. Can you think of anything I haven't asked you that folks need to know about your product, or do you think of any cool thing I haven't asked you about, or is there anything you'd like to add?
I'd just like to say thank you. We get a lot of compliments. We get a lot of compliments. Yours is standing at the top of the list here, but they're earned. And I always like to say thank you to people, because I know that people there's a lot of complaining online, but when you go online and you say thank you, I just want you to know we're 5 full-time and 5 part-time people here. We're a small company. These things mean a lot to us. It means a lot.
Well, good. So you have a valuable place in the Christmas light space. Like I think you mentioned it before, or I did, one of us, that folks don't really think about the repair side. They think about the new and shiny side. But when you have 80,000 lights like I do, if I didn't have this, I'd be dropping at least $1,000 every year. So that alone saved me $1,000 last year. So yes, it's very much appreciated. So I appreciate your time, John.
And the same.
And so I'm Charlie. We'll see you in the next video.